Good morning. Welcome back to This Week in the Mohawk Valley, and it is officially the first of the year, and I think we all have a little holiday hangover. I don't want to speak for anyone else.
I think that's an accurate description.
Yeah. A little bit of a holiday hangover. We are joined by Derek Clark from Broadway Utica. Of course, I can't believe I'm going to do this to you.
Say it right.
Sarah Foster
Yes.
from Oneida County Tourism. I have a knack for, I always call her Kelly. Just out of habit, I'll say Kelly's, and it's Sarah Foster.
I'll just roll with it. It's fine.
From Oneida County Tourism.
It all works.
Yeah.
I was just saying, the holiday hangover, we're all back. We're trying to get back into the swing, and already Motown comes rolling into town.
Yes, it's here. It's here. It arrived last week. They're here through the 13th of January with shows on January 11th and January 12th.
Oh, very cool. For those who don't know, what is Motown?
Motown is the life story of Berry Gordy and his creation of the music empire. He was the talent behind Diana Ross and the Supremes and Michael Jackson, and a lot of others that influenced music and are a part of music today.
That's great. So I think before we talk about more shows, you guys are doing great things over there. Talk about Broadway Theatre League, because I feel like people need to know, like, you are hosting shows at what Broadway Theatre League is.
Well, we are the presenter of all the Broadway shows that come to the Mohawk Valley. We, in the ambassador for Broadway Utica to New York City, to the Broadway League. I personally am a member of the Broadway League as well as Broadway Utica. And the Broadway League is the organization that owns the Tonys. So it's very similar to the Screen Actors Guild and the Oscars. The Oscars are owned by the Screen Actors Guild. The Tonys are owned by the Broadway League.
Okay.
And we are members of the Broadway League.
And so when these shows are coming here, it's like they're coming to Utica, they're staying, doing the show, exactly how you would see it on Broadway, and then heading out to New York City or wherever they are? Or?
Well, in this situation with Motown is a little bit different, is that Motown just left Broadway.
Okay.
So they have been on hiatus for the holidays, and now that the holidays are over, the show is going on the road. So what they need to do is, when you're in a stable position on Broadway, your set doesn't change. Your set is built for that stage, and it stays that in that form for their entire stay on in that theater. When they go on the road, the sets all have to be rebuilt. So they have to accommodate every stop along the leg of the tour to be erected and taken down in a timely fashion. So what this show is they are actually teching here. So they arrived
Tech
on...
show.
Yeah,
That's a phrase, yes.
It's the tech show. They arrived on the 27th of December. And they will build the sets so that the sets can go on the road and be, and be more mobile.
Okay.
And so that's what they'll be doing here. And also, too, all of the rehearsals will take place here as well. And they'll be using a local dance studio to get ready for the show before it goes on the road. So in this particular situation, with Motown, Motown being a co-equity show, we wouldn't normally get Motown in Utica because we can't hold a show in one location for 8 days or 8 performances.
Right.
And that's what the Broadway League requires for a show of this level is, each stop along the leg of the tour is a committed 8-show stay. And we can't do that. We don't have, unfortunately, we don't have the population that would allow that to happen. We can comfortably host 2 days, sometimes 3, depending on the show. In this situation, we get credit from the Broadway League for hosting them as the tech for the building of the sets, and we get credit for the 17 days that they'll be here.
That's awesome. I feel like a lot of people don't understand that, know what goes on. But I have personally been to shows at the Stanley. I take my mom, and we are like, okay, we're going to do like a girls' night out. We're going to go night out in Utica, go to dinner, go to Bella Regina or something, and then go over to the Stanley for a show. And it is beautiful. I mean, she always has been, let's go down to New York City. And now we've been able to do it right here in our own backyard. And it's honestly a fraction of the price. Like, and you get the same experience. Like, and it's almost maybe more intimate. And then you have the beautiful inside of the theater in general, the Oneida Tiffany lighting and just everything about it is really beautiful, and it's very unique.
And just the excitement of all of this going on in our own backyard
Yeah.
is pretty cool.
I know. You're hosting it down the street, and you drive down Genesee Street show night, and it's crazy. I mean, it's popping.
And there's so much, that goes into hosting these shows. I mean, I start planning out and working with the shows months before they arrive.
Yeah.
Making sure that every I is dotted and every T is crossed. And then when they do arrive, it's, I'm hosting them. I'm their point person, and I need to make sure everything is just right. Like you're hosting a party, and we're hosting one for 2 weeks or 17 days to be exact.
A long party.
It's a very long party.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure that the crews get fed. They get their pastries, they get their coffee. And you need to make sure that everything is running smoothly. Making sure that trucks get placed and the trailers get placed, and
all the little details that you probably don't necessarily think about.
Right, and it's an ongoing process until that curtain rises on the night of the show.
So I want to ask you, you mentioned normally a Broadway show, it's got to be 8 shows, 8 performances. Here, it can accommodate 2 to 3, but because they're teching, that kind of buys you some leeway.
Right.
The answer, I'll say the answer is why not Utica? But why Utica? Are there other places they could go to build sets and build stages for their traveling performances?
Yes, there are, and there are 3 that are used quite frequently. One in Pennsylvania, one in New Jersey, and then of course us. And with us, one of the great things that we have to offer is that 10 years ago when the Stanley Theatre went through its renovation and they received all the grants.
Sure.
Part of that proposal to receive those grants was to have the ability to expand the stage, to build the loading docks, and to allow trucks easy access into the theater, out of the theater, but also too, I mean, I don't know this for a fact, but I believe it was 50 feet. The stage got expanded by 50 feet. And that is a huge working space. Sure. So they can come here and have the room on the stage to build the sets, and make it all work, and be comfortable and not be cramped. And in addition to that, they also get the New York State tax credit.
Excellent.
Which is a nice a little feature. It's a little bonus, something we have to offer them when they come here as well.
About how many people come usually when they're coming in to do one of these tech shows?
For Motown, I'm around 65 people right now.
And we have all these hotels now. We have
Lots
plenty of room
yeah.
to stay, right?
And that's the other part too. Is
Great for tourism.
Exactly. These 65 people that are here for 17 days. I know how much they spend in the hotels. And it's a nice, healthy figure. Not to mention that each one of them eat here every single day, if not multiple times a day. They get days off, so on their days off, they're out and about. They're spending money in the economy, and they're going to the museums, and they're killing time. They're visiting, the Tram Cafe and hanging out there,
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
doing fun things. And so, and the restaurants and the businesses that embrace them are the ones that they love to go. I just had, Rudolph was here, and Rudolph was only here for one night, and a week before, I was getting text messages and emails from the crew of Rudolph that had been here before on previous shows, wanting to know if the Tram Cafe was open, because that was their
so cool.
first stop. And I'm like, are you serious? And I texted Robin at the Tram and said, hey, be on the lookout. They're already asking about you. And they like those places because they make them feel comfortable.
Yeah.
They enjoy their time there, and the same goes for Bite Cafe. They love to hang out at Bite Cafe in the mornings, and because they treat them well.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So Motown Musical, January 11th through 12th.
January 11th and 12th, 7:30 p.m.
Where do you get tickets?
Broadway Utica. You can call us at 315-724-7196, or you can visit us at our website at broadwayutica.com.
Okay, and then I know you have other shows coming up too, because this is probably going to be a delayed Christmas present to my mom, but what are the shows in April? I know you have a couple more on the
We have Pippin is here at the end of March.
Okay.
And then we have Rent in April. And we close out the season with Dirty Dancing May 30th and 31st.
Okay. That's awesome.
So we have, Motown into Pippin into Rent into Dirty Dancing is 4 huge shows.
I mean, those
right
are
in
all
a row.
very well known. Yeah.
Yeah, and the anniversary tours as well. So Rent's on their anniversary tour, as well as Dirty Dancing is the anniversary of the movie.
Perfect.
Are they all tech shows?
No.
No, I didn't think so.
No, the last tech show is Motown.
Motown, okay.
Yes, Motown is our last tech show for this season. And then next season, I'm putting the final
I was
touches
gonna
on
say,
next season.
I'm sure you are.
2017 and 18 is almost buttoned up. And we will start our season at the beginning of, in September. But a very, very big tech show will arrive in August.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's all. I'm excited.
It's a big one.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here, Derek. I know.
Thank you for having me. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And speaking for all of us, and I know definitely Oneida County Tourism, I know you are doing phenomenal things for Broadway Theater League. So please keep up the good work.
Thank you so
Keep bringing
much.
these awesome shows into our own backyard, like you're saying. And I really genuinely hope people go out and support it, because it is fun to dress up and just do a night out on the town in Utica and, head out for drinks and go to a show and then go out for dinner or whatever it is. And they're great shows that are coming here.
Yeah, it's nice to make a night of it and
It
just
is.
support the theater, support the Stanley. I can go out there and I can lobby for these great shows, and I can be our ambassador of theater to New York City, and I love doing it, and I will be there in a couple days, to, like I said, to put the final touches on our next season, and I will be pressing and lobbying for us, but I can only do so much if, and the rest is the people actually coming out to the shows.
Yeah, support. And actually, now I was just reminded, I know you guys won the award at the Chamber Luncheon.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Well,
thank you. We're very
What
proud
was
of
it,
that
the
award.
small business?
Yeah, it was the Business of the Year for not-for-profit for
okay.
50 or less employees.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
Well
thank
deserved.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And really quick, just remind us again, phone number, and if you guys have like Facebook or website or anything.
Sure. Well, yes, we do have Facebook, so definitely go on and like us, because we put all of our messages out through Facebook. We also are on Twitter, and we use them both nonstop. So definitely like us on Twitter, friend us on Facebook, and our website is www.broadwayutica.com, and our phone number is 315-724-7196.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Derek Clark from Broadway Utica. We'll take a quick time out and come back to wrap things up here on This Week in the Mohawk Valley.